Yeah, so the audit process was fantastic. Anybody who's even thinking about doing it needs to do an audit process because there are so much things that you don't know. And our biggest challenge out of all of this, which we found with that the audit process helped us overcome, was we didn't know what we didn't know. So I had a solution. I knew what I wanted to get to, but I didn't know how to get there. And so the audit process, we sat down there and we said, okay, how's that process working? And from there, it opened up doors to saying, well, here are some options that you might consider. And then we looked at that and we said, okay, those options out of those, this solution seems to be the best one that we can do. And so that then led us down to the testing phase, and then we tried that. And from there, we said, is this where we want to go? Are we in the right direction? In our case, no, which we would never have known that if we hadn't done the audit phase. So we were then able to deviate and go down a different path, which is where we are now on how we're using HubSpot. And finding that out and working through that whole process was well worth it. Yeah, so the results from the audit allowed us to look at the three key things that we needed to do, and from that, what it's done is it's given us a fundamental baseline that we work from. So in our case, as I said before, we were looking at we used to look at dealing with clients versus deals. Now we look at deals. And we've actually split that into two areas. So we have a prospecting side and we have a sales side. And the prospecting side is the day-to-day, week to week, month to month sort of talking back and forth, or a waiting process. You know, that some clients say, talk to us in 3 months' time, or I'm not ready now. And you say, when do you want to do this and in how many months' time? So that's that working process. And when you look at that, you've got three columns that we work through on there. So they're down into smaller sections. They're easier to look at, easier to filter through. And then once they get out of that into the official, I need a formal offer sort of stage, then we're down to a budget estimate or a formal offer. We're down now to two columns. And we can see those clients very easy. We can see where they're at. And so you look at them differently, you approach them differently, rather than having this wide range of all of these columns that go through a typical sales pattern or a process. This one here is so much easier to look at and not get bombarded